Notice also that the OECD has spoken about the risk of snapback, how snapback runs a risk of really restricting the growth in the economy and having a severe impact. The idea that you can just snap back to what was there, whether it be childcare, whether it be the removal of JobKeeper from other sectors, whether it be the withdrawal of JobSeeker back to its old amount of $40 a day, the OECD has warned that early withdrawal of economic support runs a severe risk of having a negative impact on the economy, on employment and on living standards in Australia. Well, they've warned against, the economic stimulus packages. There's been 3 of them in the Parliament. Labor has voted for all of them. But we've also warned about some of the mistakes that have been made. And of course, the major mistake announcements have been there every week. This week's was the withdrawal of childcare earlier in the week, and it's this issue in the last half of this week. The week before, it was the $720 million cost of robo-debt, an illegal scheme imposed on more than 300,000 Australians. The week before that, it was the $60 billion accounting error. This government needs to get it right. They need to make sure that we have a transition rather than a snapback that will snap communities. And that is what the OECD have clearly outlined in the report that's released today.
The Prime Minister was fairly vocal yesterday about urging premiers to reopen their borders to aid with economic recovery. What's your stance on that?
Look, I don't think restrictions should be there for one day more than necessary. But it's the Prime Minister who's chaired a meeting that's decided that it's up to the states to go their own way. That's a decision by the Prime Minister. He should accept some responsibility for the outcomes of meetings that he chairs and that he announces.
There are some more protests planned this weekend. You have previously said you will listen to the health advice. What's your advice to people who are planning on going?
Listen to the health advice. Simple as that. The health advice, we need to listen to the science and experts, whether it be on coronavirus, whether it be on climate change. It's always a good idea to listen to people who know more than you do. And medical experts know more than I do about the coronavirus crisis and the dangers which are there. So quite clearly, large public gatherings provide a risk. They provide a risk to individuals' health and a risk to community health. We need to not be complacent about coming out of this crisis. We're not through it yet, and that's why we need to be consistent. And I've always been consistent. I've never said things are going to shut down on Monday, but I'll go to the footy tomorrow. I've been consistent the whole way through that we should listen to the health advice.